Almighty, the following interview contains classified information scattered throughout the whole video. Listen closely to the whole interview to catch all of the top secrets. Then comment about them below. We'll see if you heard them all.
When'd you do that?
This is when we were out there with the expedition in 1990.
Well, that was taken out.
We found that out. It's gone a long time ago.
I know exactly where it went.
That's what we want to know.
Well,
so we went over there with metal detectors, and the archaeologists called it an archaeological zone, and we can't disturb it. True. So all these sheets of tin are laying there on the ground.
well, the building was. It would.
You use metal detectors.
Yeah.
You can't use them effectively if there's sheets of metal laying all over the ground.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let us move them because those are archaeological artifacts. This kind of stuff we've been faced with the Army since we've been out there working on this deal.
Well,
Certainly that's off limits to us.
that it was true, but only at that sheep shed, there was only 22 little bars taken out there to my knowledge.
22.
Mm-hmm. And their bars were registered around 61 to 62% purified gold.
And what did each one weigh?
They weighed about 8 pounds.
8, is that all?
Mm-hmm.
They were small.
Yeah.
So they weren't worth a whole heck of a lot.
No.
Well, the story we'd been told.
But there were bones in there too.
52 bars there. Bones?
There was bones in the same, human bones.
Why would they be there?
I don't know.
The doc put somebody there to guard
Lord, I never did know why. And there is a lot of things down there that, just like I told you about this guy that had the song, he wrote the song.
Oh, Mary Dose?
Rosie Dose, really good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he was one of the people that was up there, where the bloody hands are.
Yeah.
Those were not, when we were in there, nowhere near being accessible to eye anywhere.
Oh, the vines that overgrown?
Were grown and clear back up on top of the next mountain. And what he did, he got a hold of one and it uprooted. And here comes him, and the rocks and everything come down there. And lo and behold, it didn't kill him, and there was some bloody hands that I'd heard about. And now I've been to Spain. I've been all through the Spanish archives.
Okay.
And there's a lot of stuff in Spain that shows right there what we're talking about.
Is that where the document is that shows the lion's head? And you've seen that? You've seen that document?
Sure, so I've seen that document in Spain.
And
at the archaeological department.
And that carving of the lion's head is there at the Bloody Hands area.
It's all connected.
That's supposed to mark the entrance to the tunnel. And someone has disfigured the thing so you can't see the lion's faces anymore. But I know where it is. And Letha Guthrie, Doc's daughter,
I know who she is.
stepdaughter, has a photograph of it before it was defaced.
I did too. And my stuff the government took. Hell yes.
But you don't have it anymore.
Oh no, I don't have nothing anymore. They took it all away from me.
Anyway, you know Keith Alexander?
I know who he is. Well, I know who he was.
Yeah. He's been out there with us, and I've got pictures here of him at the place. Might as well show you. Yep. That's Keith in his wife, Georgia Bell. Standing at the spot. You can no longer tell that it's the lion's head. You can still make out the
but you can definitely, and the stuff I took photographs of in Spain, under the auspices of the government, there, and I brought them back, and those were collected when they picked up all of my records and the whole bit.
That's terrible.
And,
You recognize that?
my. I wish I had $1 for every day I've been there.
That's supposed to have come from the archives in Spain.
I think it did.
But it's been altered somewhat. They changed it a little bit.
Well, this okay. Now you can't distinguish a peak here because you got to climb up some to get above that. Now, when you go into I don't know whether the fences have all been changed or not, but we used to come in past some company. When you get off, and when they were going to work, well, we'd mix with them and get out in the sands. Now, there's some company there now. What's a little? There's
That was mining?
Huh?
Were they a mining company?
No, I don't think so.
No. What kind of company was it?
You know, can't remember what kind of company it was.
What are they doing?
They all going to work, that's all I know.
Doing what?
I don't know. I was never in the plant. What's a little town's name that,
Hatch?
yeah, there's another one.
Rincon?
Coming back this way.
Rating Spring?
No, it's one that, where you know where the headquarters of the system, whatever you call it, where the actual governmental system. Where's their headquarters in that area?
What governmental system do you mean?
Well, they took care of all the white sands and everything. That's where all the stuff that we dug up went, the wagons and everything. Over there for the show spot.
Well, you're not talking about the White Sands headquarters?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, okay. On the other side of the mountain?
Yeah.
The base headquarters?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well.
That's where they have the wagon on exhibit
Yes.
that came out of the tunnel?
That's right.
The cannon?
They took it from us.
You found it and they took it away from you?
I didn't find it. One of our group did.
We've heard that, well, we've more than heard, we've been told, by Judge Moreland. You know Judge?
He's a liar.
Oh, is he? That he and two or three other guys found a cannon in there, in the basin, and they're trying to carry it out, and it got too heavy, so they hid it somewhere. That's not true?
Mm-hmm.
It is true.
But it come out.
Oh, it's not there anymore.
It's right there at the headquarters.
Well, that's the one?
That's the one.
So they did find it later on and took it to the headquarters.
Mm-hmm. We sure did.
That's the cannon. Okay. Well, that's something. What else do you know about
Okay.
that's interesting?
What else I know?
That's interesting like that.
Next time you're over there, go out to the back, and there's a place up there.
The back of the headquarters?
The headquarters building.
Okay.
Go out to the back. There's a graveyard there too.
There is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how many people has in it, but it's supposed to be a graveyard. And I've gone there and gone down and come clear around underneath.
You're supposed to dig in graveyards.
I wasn't really digging. I was crawling.
You're doing what?
Crawling.
Crawling.
Yes. Underground.
In what?
In the deal that goes to what used to be another town.
Under the... How'd you find that? Did anybody else know it's there?
Oh, yes.
How far does it go?
Well, we went about, I guess, 250 to 300 feet.
Yeah.
Bunch of skulls come out there.
It's one mystery after another.
I know people that still got skulls out of there that still using them for flower deals.
Flower pot?
Yeah. Hang it up on their porch.
Really?
Why, certainly. We found many of them.
So you say, how many bars came out of the goat herder's shed?
There was 11 that was not gold.
They were not. What were they?
Probably a mixture, maybe 5% gold, some silver,
Real low grade?
real low quality. And I think someone, when that was uncovered, when I was there, I think someone had already taken some of the bars off, because it indicated that.
I think there might have been more there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who do you think did that?
Well, I don't know. I have no idea.
Y'all came along after them and
We come along a long time after them. And then, where those bars were, there was dirt between all of them. And you can pretty well tell what.
you think they dug in panels and quit?
Yeah.
Didn't go any further?
Yeah. I think there's some still there.
You think it might be still?
Yeah.
Well, let's move the sheet to 10.
Well, I don't keep him digging.
We can't move the 10.
Well, we moved it when it's a barn.
But with the government, with the army watching you, you know, the MPs, you cannot move those sheets of 10.
That's ridiculous.
Well, of course it is.
And,
you know the old rock house that Nelson's used for a kitchen?
sure.
Around back over
Yes.
the back. Letha Guthrie, who used to live there,
Now, know it.
is not allowed to pick up a bottle cap
Off of the land.
off the land.
I know.
She probably put there herself
Yeah.
because it's a historical artifact.
Like hell it is.
Yeah, that's what they told us.
I know, that's what they give us all that jazz. See, I went to the court over there. I was subpoenaed, along with a bunch of other people.
What for?
We were digging on forbidden soil.
Oh. You were damaging the environment.
You betcha. And that's where they come in and blew the whole thing apart. Do you remember when they dynamited a whole bunch of mountains over there? Well, that's my day. It ought to be in yours.
There used to be rumors that they dynamited the bloody hands.
Well, they didn't dynamite the bloody hands. They dynamited a pair of stuff way back over in where the headquarters of the Army used to be.
I don't know when that is either.
You would if you look on, if we get a regular map or find it.
Well, I'm not surprised that any dynamite might have been done. I've done some myself out there.
Well, they just absolutely tore things up.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, see when in New Mexico, there was a bunch of stuff found that nobody ever heard of either.
Yeah. Well, it's probably smart not to advertise it.
Huh?
It's probably smart not to advertise it when you find something.
Well, I'm talking about this. This should be to. There was a place. Did you know Paul Henson?
No, I think he must be a friend of yours.
Well, he was a friend of a lot of people.
You've mentioned his name before, but I never.
Yeah, he's the one that owned the automobile agency that when we found it. Yeah. He would come over there. Now I had some pictures that, I mean good pictures. And these are personal. We have to take everything. Okay? Someday you're going to get killed. I don't know when the day will come, but somebody will kill you. Because these are mine. My picture's in it. All my friends are in it. You have no right to take them. They took them. I was supposed to get them back on the limousine when they got through with them. Well, they never did get through with them.
No, that's typical.
Okay, a lot of that shows good exposures of where we found things.
The pictures that you
Yeah.
showed where you were. So do you remember pretty much where they were?
If I got down there and looked at geographically, I think if I got on top of Victorio Peak, I think I could.
You should be able to, pretty close.
Then,
They really haven't changed much.
well, the plane's gone, right?
The plane wreckage, part of it's still, you can tell where it is.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. The frame.
Yeah, well, I was there when that thing wrecked.
Frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found the engine cowling in pretty good shape back in '56. I got there the first time. But now all you see is rusted pieces of
Parts.
Yeah, more or less laying in the wash between Toronto and Victoria Peak. There's a place where the wash kind of divides, makes a little island out there,
Yeah.
and it's right close to that.
Now, the man that was here one time, what was his name?
Mike Lawrence?
Yeah, Mike Oren. Okay, I think he had a picture of something there I looked at one night that I was going through some of his photographs. What does he do?
He's a professional photographer.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Because he sure had some fine pictures.
Yeah, he's good photographer. He's a pro. He ought to take good pictures.
Well, I didn't know.
Yeah,
Till now,
that's what he does.
I didn't know he was professional at all.
Yeah. I don't know what else he does, but he does that.
But you've got so many places where the headquarters are. There's a little town on the highway.
You
You
mean Oregon?
Yeah.
At the pass?
Yeah.
The son of you said, yeah, Oregon.
Okay. Right there in Oregon. I went down, hundreds of us went down. You know, there's a tunnel in there too.
On the town of Oregon?
Yeah, it runs right under it.
Yeah, there's mines all over the place.
There weren't mines.
Well, they weren't?
Nope.
What kind of tunnels are they?
Well, they're man-made tunnels, and I don't know why.
Around 1900, there was a big mining activity going on there in that area.
Well, it might be, but it's because it had wood tracks some places.
Tracks, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been in one in that area that had tracks in it. Had a beautiful stonework carved entrance to the tunnel, like a railroad tunnel almost.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the White Sands side of the mountains from Oregon. It's over the pass from Oregon to down there. That's the best one I've seen. But there's probably 60 or 70 old gold and silver mines that were operational in the 1880s.
Yeah, well, I found tracks in a lot of places.
Yeah.
But another thing that stays on my mind, you see, the biggest part of the people, I'd say 90% of the people, if they were polled, they don't believe there's extraterrestrial beings in this country. And I had one of them tell me one time this. He looked at me square in the eye. And I was in the fueling place of White Sands.
Where?
Fueling place.
Fueling?
Yeah. What the
filling station?
Yeah.
There's one big filling station
Yeah.
on the base.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
They used to get gas there too. Yeah.
okay. They were over at another place where they had fuel of a different kind. And these people in there were not like you and I. By any means. I don't care who says what, they can take it and shove it. But that man said, I want to tell you something. If you will go with us, I'll show you a people when your Jesus Christ was hung.
What do you mean by that?
He's got a photograph of it.
A photograph?
Yes, that's what they told me. And I said, well, my wife lived 40 miles from here in a hotel. And he says, when are you going to see your wife? I said, as soon as I get out of here. He says, okay, you watch us. And when we come over that area, we will do 2 operations. We'll go in a diamond form 2 times. And I got home and got Betty up out there and watching, and they went diamond forms 2 times and just vanished. Anybody tell me, then I would like to have enough guts with some people to challenge White Sands over there where they've got some of these things on ice.
You think?
I know they have. I don't have to think.
They've got a UFO on the base?
They've got where they've interbred with people, and they've got them right there on ice.
Aliens.
That's right.
Have you talked to one of them?
I talked to a bunch of them,
No kidding. And
and nobody would believe me.
They've been around so long that they got pictures of Jesus being hung on the cross.
That's what he said. He says, if you'll go with us on this trip, I'll show you pictures of your Jesus Christ being hung on the cross.
And you didn't go.
Certainly not, I didn't go.
Afraid they wouldn't bring you back.
I was afraid I didn't have, I wasn't about to get in that thing. I walked in it, I looked at it.
A friend of mine who lives in Almaguer, Dick, when you get to be 70 years old.
Shorter?
No. I'll think of it now. He's been out to Peak a lot, and going from way back. And he crawled into a tunnel out there one time on the Peak and found a skull or a skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
And he claims that Bobby Kennedy came to his house, wanted to know all about it. Anyway, Dick tells me that on one of his trips, when he drove into the basin, he saw a UFO parked up on the saddle of Victorio Peak.
Certainly, I have too. Not once, 4 or 5 times.
Really?
You betcha.
And it took off.
You dang betcha. And now they're finally coming true. See, the reason I started with them is because we lost in Tucker Ranch in Oklahoma, lost a lot of cattle. And they only took one thing, the organs.
Yeah.
And that got me all upset when I'm with them.
Yeah.
And the only thing I could see about them, they were built different than we are.
You don't trust them?
No, I don't trust them at all.
Yeah. Yeah, they removed the organs.
Certainly.
Surgical.
We lost 60 head of cattle one night.
Really? What are they doing with those organs?
Taking them back to their home. They needed them, implants.
Well, I've read that they don't even leave any blood. The incisions are perfectly smooth and precise.
My brother runs a ranch. I was foreign when all of this took place. And he's got all kind of photographs of that. The government didn't take them away because that nobody believed it anyway.
Yeah. Right.
And I've got a picture that I treasure most of all the things I have gathered up from my mother's death and all the deaths. And we got it at my aunt I grew up with. She photographed a tornado. And when had it developed, there was someone walking on a tornado. See it just as clear as a bell. I've got a copy of that.
Really?
You bet.
You can see somebody or something up in the funnel?
You can see it perfectly, just as much as you were still looking out here and see an airplane.
Yeah.
There was this storm, man, just raging, and this, whatever it was walking there, and his clothes wasn't even blowing.
Very strange.
I don't think so. I think he can do anything he wants to.
Well, of course
I've got a copy of that. I looked at it this morning. But no, if we could, did you ever hear Wayne Lawson?
No, another friend of yours, I guess.
Well, I mean, he was one of the people there on the excursion. Him and his son. And there's a Tony Snow.
Tony Snow.
Yeah.
Is he related to John Snow?
I don't know. I just know
Old race rider?
Could be. He's always bragging about something.
Well, John Snow used to be one of the range riders in Floyd, by right sense, to keep people out of it.
That was his son.
Okay. I knew John Snow. He caught me one time.
Okay. They was going to catch me one time, and I went in the back way and come out, and I put flyers on the deal that Blues is going to send up next day. No, I didn't lose any fingerprints because I knew better than that. And they just raised hell with people. But I had one man, he and I would go way after dark and get in there, see what's going on. Because when did the deal blow up? They blew a bunch of stuff up in the valley.
I don't know what it was. I don't remember that.
The government did.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
And I believe that was in New Mexico. I had a picture of that was sent to me foreign. And,
I don't know when it was. I don't even know what year it was that they already put the gate across the road, just below New Pass. I used to go there before there was a gate, and then
all of a sudden
there was a gate.
Yeah.
I used to go drive off my Jeep off the slope below the gate, and then climb up and get back on the road.
Okay, if you're at Victorio Peak today, what is the closest village or town or whatever we want to call it to there?
Back to the east, west, back to the west.
I think it's the west, yeah.
That's Rincon.
Rincon.
On the railroad.
Well, where was a judge when I was taken in when court?
Judge?
Mm-hmm.
You were called on the basis took you to a judge?
Yeah, I went to court over it.
That was on the base headquarters.
Yeah.
I went to him one time too.
Okay.
Got $50 fine.
I got the use of my major's badge and the whole bit.
What do you mean? You took it away from you? Or?
They tried to. So what they compensated me with?
It was the justice of the peace on the base, I think.
I don't know who it was, but I know one thing. They loaned me a Cadillac with all the numbers on it, front and back to use for 3 months.
What?
I wouldn't take them to prison.
Oh, they were trying to shut you up?
They bought me off.
Oh,
I needed the vehicle.
okay.
I can't remember that judge's name, but he was the one that authorized all this gold to go to China.
China.
Certainly.
Well, didn't you take some gold to Switzerland, to Zurich? Was that the one side of the sheep herders shed?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was, how many bars was it you took to Switzerland?
I think it's 17, as I recall.
17?
Yeah.
And they weighed how much?
Less than 10 pounds.
Less than 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And they're 63, 4, 5% pure.
Some of them do 40 to 50, and some of them do 60 to 70% pure fine.
Great variation.
Yeah. They come from different places.
And the bars were real rough, and they were not engraved.
They were all sand dubbed.
Sand. Just poured in, scooped out place in the sand.
Well, you have to scoop out place in sand and put
And so they were grainy.
Yeah.
In texture, not smooth.
No.
And nothing stamped on them.
The top of them is just, was not smooth, it's wrinkled. I mean, just bubbling. Yeah.
That's the way it was.
That was.
And they didn't amount to a whole lot. How much was gold per ounce at that time?
Oh, after refining, I think it's about 300.
300 ounces?
$300 an ounce.
$300 an ounce?
Uh-huh.
How much did you get for all 17 bars?
I can't remember the Hunt brothers.
I remember the Hunt brothers.
Well, they went on it.
They were.
Yeah.
At that time, the Hunt brothers were trying to corner the silver market in 70-something. Me and some friends of mine were operating a silver mine in Mexico. It was low-grade silver, and when they got the price up to $50,
Mexico or New Mexico?
Old Mexico.
Old Mexico.
When they got the price up to $50, we thought we were going to make a lot of money out of it. And so we shipped a whole bunch of low-grade stuff to the smelter, and then the price brought it down.
Yeah, see, I've worked with him. That's where Ross Perot worked with him. Old man Hunt himself, he always called me his kid. And the two kids, I'm going to give you a dime for either one of them.
What was that right?
The Bunker was one of them.
Bunker T, huh?
See, I used to have the asbestos dealership in Oklahoma. And they had the asbestos dealership in Texas. And so we worked together and through that company. And it was something, how one man can make things change in a business.
Yeah. Did you know Lamar Hunt?
Oh, well, God, yes, I knew it.
Owns the Kansas City Chiefs now? Yeah.
No, that was a Hunt Brothers.
Yeah.
The old man used to run around here looking like a bum, you know.
Yeah.
I looked see him on that old car, and I said, why don't you get something? He said, you don't understand life. I said, I sure don't. I said, you could buy 50 Cadillacs today and it wouldn't hurt you at all. He said, look what it do to my image.
My image?
He wanted to be known as a bum.
Yeah. He did.
I mean, seriously.
He wanted to show the money didn't go to
That's right.
No matter how rich he was, he's still the same one good old boy. He wasn't spoiled by it.
Well, he did a lot of things good. Now, they would, if you had a daughter, and she had a problem with childbirth, and die, they would always send money to these people to help pay their bills.
That's good.
No, they did a lot of things, but it's just the things they wanted to do, which is all right.
That's okay, yeah. Sure.
And no, I traveled many miles with that bunch of people. And Ross Perot used to come to my house crying every day. And now he heads up all the checks that you get when you're a senior. He used to tell my wife, look what I've got. I just got a watch the Navy gave me. It was a Navy watch, and that's all I've got. And then so when I jumped and bought all the stuff he had stolen out of there and come out of there, he made fortunes, computer-wise. Now, these computer people, they're not exactly honest. Perot's one of them.
Well, he's a good presidential candidate father, then.
Oh, God. There were so many things that... But see, I tried my best to keep the system in Canada where it belonged, you know, all of this stuff they're talking about killing people. Water pipes, this big around, this big around. I talked to my brother my mother-in-law had their 100th anniversary 5 months ago. And we went by wheelchair and all. I took my wife to the 100th anniversary. And there's a lot of people that I'd worked with was at that deal. That hall was full, almost 400 people at her 100th anniversary. And she just a cantankerous old woman. But it was all fun. And all the Lawrence Welk's team come down and did music.
Oh, good. For Branson. Great.
The three of them I know well. I've known them ever since we basically grew up together. And
Quite an event.
oh, it was something. I was absolutely amazed at the people there. Their mayor, his name is Money. I'd never heard it before. So I just walked up to him and stuck my finger in his belly. I said, I want some money. He says, I don't have much left. And he pulled all that fat out his. Oh, but I think if I could get the right records, and I guess the deal we was under, they used at one time as the underground walkway, and then we found the underground. I helped find the underground where the Mexicans would get in tunnel, come across the tunnel, come up in a house.
Who was
It's in Texas. The border.
that? Oh, you mean, you're talking about the tunnel that the river goes from El Paso
Yeah.
under the river into
Yeah.
Juarez?
Yeah.
Yeah, Smuggler's Tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
You know where that is?
Yes, I do. I walked it.
Under the Rio Grande.
Under the old ground. As dry as it could be.
Is that right?
They did a whale of a job.
Never heard about that tunnel.
Well, there's a house on each end.
Oh, it's inside of a house. That's a good way to do it. Pretty smart.
The Vikings, see, by God, I got sued by the school board because I proved unequivocally that the Vikings come where they didn't show by a long ways. And the group was, tiny group was working with them. And I got sued. I believe Wayne Lawson got sued. There were 5 or 6 of us got sued.
For saying that the Vikings had come over here?
Well, the Vikings did come over here, but they didn't come where the school book shows where they come, and that's a lie. They come almost 100 miles further.
Yeah. And they wanted to sue you for saying that?
Yes.
You don't have free speech?
No. Not when you're accusing the school board being a bunch of dummies.
Yeah.
And,
Well, what do you know about Lyndon Johnson's involvement with the gold from the Peak?
well, he had a connection and he tried to work. As far as I know, he didn't need to work it. He worked another one.
You said something once about he and I guess maybe Lady Bird together came out there.
Yeah, that was the Victorio Peak.
Yeah.
Yes.
They came out there and you were there.
I tell you, for all these artifacts from Russia belong to his wife.
And that China, that was it Russian China or something that was crated up that you took to them?
It was China that was come out of that mine that I sent to them. Yes.
Yeah. That she claimed was hers.
Evidently it was hers.
Yeah.
Because there was names in there and it goes right back to her name.
Well, where were the crates of China that you were able to get them?
They were, when you walk into the opening that was there, you could walk in. And then you turn left. And then just if you follow a line, that place opens and closes. The mountain movement.
The line, talking about a line, you mean a fault? There's a lot of faults inside the Peak.
Well, no, this is the one that opens and closes at times. Depends on the weather. Sometimes you can get in there, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can see in there, and sometimes you can't. That's where I found all of the rifles, and all the wood was down here on the ground.
Rotted off.
Yeah. In that place.
Where was the entrance to that, approximately?
It was right there where I'm telling you. You're down on the second level. You know where the peak is.
Yeah.
Okay, you go down the first level, second level.
First level, what do you mean by first level?
Well, there's where you can...
Inside?
Inside of it, yes.
Outside?
Inside. Haven't you ever gone down that tunnel?
I don't know which one you mean.
It's the only one up there.
You don't have the shaft at the very top of
That's right.
Okay. You drop into that.
Yeah. Take your rope and keep...
The first level you come to is also connects with the lower mouth shaft. It's where the ladder ended down there.
Well, but there is... You go down.
You can, yes.
Certainly.
With the ladder. There used to be a ladder up there.
I know it.
It came out so far and it ended. And then at the base of the bluff, there was a shaft going that opened off the... It dropped in and it went this way and met up with it. And then she started another shaft inside going down 40, 50 feet further on.
Well,
And all the whole thing's in a big old fissure, big wide gap.
but I'm amused that you or the other man that was out here didn't see that movie. I mean, that thing where it shows...
On TV?
Yes, on TV.
No, I haven't seen it.
It shows the soldiers taking the gold bars out of what we're talking about.
Victorio Peak.
Yes.
But if the Army is trying so hard to keep it all a secret, why would they allow a TV documentary to be filmed?
I think that I don't think they had anything with it being, I don't think the newsman, I don't think they figured they'd do it. They had to have a newsman in there.
Yeah. Why would they allow
This
that?
is on channel 2 or 4.
Why would they allow that when it's a secret
I don't know.
operation?
I don't know.
And they're not publicized.
And it shows soldiers in there.
When they're trying to cover it up, so why would they allow him to?
I don't know. I don't know.
I never heard of it.
But it's on television about, let's see, the Jewish man that was in World War II. He stole his own plane and brought it home with him. He was one of the people who had a protected life over here, and his daughter was the narrator of that particular show.
Really? Who was that?
Well, I don't know her. I could look up her name.
German.
Huh? No.
He's a German?
No. Jew.
A Jew.
And she's a Jew. I've got his scepter in my house right now that he carried all the way through the World War II and the next scrimmage.
This swagger stick, you mean? Well, if we know the name of this person, we ought to be able to trace down the...
Well, you ought to. It's on Channel 6 or Channel 8 or
whatever, but still, that's been some years back.
yeah, some years back, but they still got a record of this.
You gotta know what to tell them, because I want to know what TV show you had about Victorio Peak. And they say, well, what network? We don't know. What channel?
Well, it had to be 2, 4, or 6. That's all it was on it.
They don't want to be specific. They want to which one.
Well, to tell them about all 3.
Otherwise, they wouldn't.
I set up till 10 o'clock to watch this, and it was the most magnificent thing. And this Jewish man is the one that told me his daughter was going to do this while they're moving gold out of Victorio Peak. He said they're stealing gold out of Victoria Peak, and it's all on record.
I wish I knew where that was.
Well, it has to be someone that with a knowledge that has to find it. I thought this guy that's a photographer, he might know who this woman is. She also did photography work.
We don't have a clue. We need a name.
Yeah, we do.
We either need to know the name of this Jewish woman, or we need to know for sure what network it's
maybe I could go, because I live in housing. When they took all my money, we had to live in housing. And I might be able to get them to look that thing up.
Sure be great.
Because the woman come in there, I got all of his stuff. He was in the hospital, my wife, and I left. I had to go over to Africa, and I was gone over about 7 days. And I did what I had to do and got back here, and everybody in that, all three of the people out of there, all friends of mine, Betty lived, the other two died. That 3-day weekend. So I've been watching these 3-day weekends every time I've got anybody in the hospital, I'm going to be there. Because these dumb damn people, I had 2 little boys that one of them, they almost got drowned and it affected them. And the same 3-day weekend, they both died in a nursing home because there was no help there.
Yeah. Nobody's there on weekends.
That's right.
Tough time to go to the hospital.
No, sir. And it just tears me up. But that, I can see her. But see, I just come from there.
Does Betty remember her name?
I don't even know whether Betty looked at it or not.
Oh.
She didn't cater to them kind of programs.
Yeah.
But there's got to be a way to find that. I might be able, if the old manager's there, I know for sure I could, but this new one, I don't know what I can or not, but I know they've got a copy of all the people that have died there.
It'd sure be good if we could trace that down.
Well, it shows it, but it shows everything we're talking about. And the soldiers bringing out bars of gold.
Mm-hmm. How were they carrying them out?
One at a time.
Each guy carrying one and walking out with it, or were they passing it from guy to guy?
No, it showed them walking in, and it might be 2 bars. I don't know.
Coming out with
Mm-hmm. And I was there. See, the reason I went by there, and I got as far as I get in the car, and I crawled over the fence and went in. And I had 2 attorneys with me. And this is what they filmed. I didn't know, because they run us off. They wouldn't let us have...
It's while that was going on that you went out there and saw that happening.
Well, we was passing by. I had no idea what was going on. I saw all these soldiers going in to Victorio Peak. And nobody was in there. I couldn't get in. The lawyers couldn't get in.
Of course not. They don't want any witnesses.
That's right.
Yeah. What year do you think that was? In the 60s or 70s?
It was when
Was LBJ president yet, or was it before that?
LBJ was president.
He was president.
Yes.
So it was after 64, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be early 70s.
It could have been when the deal. He was in office.
Yeah, we heard reports that Johnson made more than one trip out there.
Oh, he made, my God, he made dozens of them out there.
During the 70s.
60s and 70s, yes.
Yeah.
God, I've never run on this. See, Lyndon Johnson was not Lyndon Johnson. Someone else was his brains. I'm serious now. Oh, he had a deal smuggled across that border you can't believe.
He did.
Hell yes, excuse the French.
Smuggling what, dope or gold?
I don't know what he was smuggling. I know he's smuggling gold. Or wasn't smuggling, he could legally bring it across, I guess.
Well, was he taking gold from the peak to Mexico?
I don't know where he took it. Last thing I knew, he went to China. I don't know what he did with it.
Well, we've been told by other people that he had a ranch down in Mexico.
He had a part ownership. That's where I got into trouble. I was set down to build a silo, and then it would pay me.
Well, he's supposed to have 2,000 bars put on this ranch in Mexico first. And it sat there until the price of gold went up before they put it on the market, sold it away.
I don't know either, but I know he took some gold.
One witness I got an update here from a guy claims he saw 22 18-wheelers loaded up with gold come out of there. You know anything about that?
No. Sure don't.
That's a lot of gold, 22 18-wheelers.
I don't know where I don't even know where you get that much.
Yeah, I don't either.
So, but I do know some of that stuff out there at the headquarters. When you get in there, there's supposed to be a graveyard. And it isn't a graveyard.
It's not really a graveyard?
No.
Behind the headquarters?
Mm-hmm.
It's got crosses and stuff all over the place?
Yeah.
It's not really a graveyard?
No.
But there's tunnels on it.
Well, there's tunnels go in.
What do they do with those tunnels?
You guess.
I went onto that base, went around behind the headquarters building and went down in the tunnel. They locked me up and threw the key away.
Well, I'll tell you what. I know it's there. Because see, if you watch government workers, they go to work at a certain time and get off a certain time. The rest of the time, they're not there.
Yeah, sure. Did you ever know Dick Richardson?
Well, certainly.
I never did. I used to hear about him a lot, but I never did.
Know him, but doing well. I guess he's still there or dead. I don't know.
He's supposed to be dead.
I don't know. Like, I haven't heard anything. I've got 18 years here that I haven't heard. I've been totally. See, I was out of the country for, I think, 26 years.
Well, somewhere in the files, it says that Dick Richardson went to Seville, Spain, looking in the archives too. Did he do that as far as you know?
Dick Richardson was there when I was there.
And Dick knew Doc Moss,
So did I.
and they were friends.
Yes.
That's what I heard.
I knew Noss. I mean, there was nothing to it. I thought he was a nut.
But was it Willie Doc that took Doc to the cave?
No, I don't think so.
Willie Doc. Did you know Willie?
I know who he is and knew him at one time.
Yeah. He just died recently.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of them. That's what I'm checking. I've checked everybody I know. Okay. I even got this, Find Anywhere USA.
Yeah.
I've got a Mexican that I need to find.
Yeah. Can't locate him.
They haven't located. They didn't locate him.
Yeah, he died, been about a year now.
I'll be darned.
He was out there to the peak with us one time.
Well, did you know Coy Carroll?
No. Willie had a ring that he says Doc let him take out of the peak for a souvenir. And it was, had 5 rubies running down the middle of it, and then about 11 or 12 diamonds around the ruby. And he showed that to us. I got pictures of it. Then about a year later, we heard he was dead. He was in bad shape then. He'd had brain surgery. He had a big depression in the skull here where it sunk in, where they didn't put a plate back or a bone back or something. He was very feeble.
Well, Coy Carroll one of the people was in and out of there for years.
In and out of where?
Victorio Peak and all of them places down there.
In and out of the tunnel?
Yeah.
You mean it's still possible to get into the tunnel?
It is possible if you know where.
Well, that's what I mean. If you know,
Yeah.
it is possible to get in there. Without doing a lot of digging like we're doing with bulldozers.
Oh, that's foolish.
Yeah. Approximately where are those entrances?
Well, he never did tell me. That's the reason I know one time I was with him. I don't know what he was or who he was, but I liked him. I liked him and his wife both. But he become a drunkard according to his wife. I was in communications with his wife until a year ago, and now I can't find her. And so the people that lives in the same house, they don't even know her. So evidently she sold. And I've tried to find Coy. I've tried to find the guy that wrote Dozy Dose. I cannot find him. I don't haven't a clue. But I'd have had all of those things if it hadn't been for your stinking government.
That's mine. I wouldn't do that.
Oh boy. See, they went through this. And they took it with them. I was to get it back. I was to get a copy of all of it back. I never did get it.
Well, that's why they took it. They didn't want you that.
So,
Well, you know, this tunnel that has the Model A or Model T in it
Model T.
is supposed to connect up to Victoria Peak.
I think it does.
Yeah.
I think if I can't go into Monday, but I'll go see if housing will let me have access to that.
To what?
The man that died there, the Jewish man, his daughter is the one that did this photography work.
Yeah. Good. That'd be good.
And he left me a bunch of stuff. Well, he told his daughter, in case I die, there's a soldier here I want my things to go to. And he and I'd walk a dog every night together. So it hurts very much when you lose. See, I knew him in Jerusalem, and I still talk to some of his folks. Because I know a lot of people in Jerusalem.
I've been there twice.
I know lots of people.
I'd love to go back again.
I'd like to live there. And Haifa, I worked with Haifa for almost 16 years. And
yeah, I bought my wife a diamond ring in Haifa 3 or 4 years.
Beautiful.
There's something special about that country.
You betcha.
Yeah.
That's what that guy's going to show me a photograph of.
Yeah. Right.
But I do believe that someday I'll run on, because I've run ads and everything else about getting this information back.
Yeah. Terrible.
It's worse than that.
Well, it's a great loss to you. It's also a great loss to us. This could be very helpful to us.
Yeah, because I had pictures and places, and I had worlds of stuff from Spain in there, and they didn't like that.
Well, it proves the existence of this thing.
Yes.
That's what we've been searching for. We've been trying to find it.
Well,
And everything that the Army says makes us look like idiots. They say there never was a popular roof. There never was any caves in Victoria Peak. There never was any gold in Victoria.
you can tell them and use my name, you're a damn liar.
And we're a bunch of nuts, for being out there looking for something that never existed in the first place.
Why did I get sued? All this crap.
And we can't prove that we're right. We have no documents to prove that there is a popular roof and that there is gold in the peak.
Well, there sure was, and you can find it.
And we can't get in there to prove it. They tell us that they've taken out all this stuff and millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they tell us that they didn't take it all. I don't know whether to believe that or not.
Well, I don't know how much is in there, but I do know at one place, and I've racked my mind ever since the other fellow come out here. And that's where the rifles were, where they were all standing up, and ironically, there was only one or two of them lying down. These rifles had been set up against this wall.
What age rifles were they? What type?
You know, they were the old single shot darn things.
Oh, those flintlocks or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not modern rifles.
No, Lord, no, they're
Not Army stuff.
well, there's Army stuff in, I believe.
Spanish Army, muskets, something like that.
Some, all different kinds of things.
But anyway, the wood had rotted off. They're so old. Had they gotten damp in some way?
No, there was a dry in there. That's what everybody come to the conclusion. It looked like ants or something to eat it up.
Oh. Huh. Well, among the artifacts listed in Doc's inventory was guns and swords and armor and bodies.
Well, that is true.
Yeah. And blankets and saddles and all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah.
See, I just missed a day about being there when he was killed.
Yeah. We have been curious about a place on the peak. If you can visualize where the old Henderson Goat Ranch was, and you go immediately above it, going up the peak, when you cross the wash, get up on the other bank, and go up just a little ways, there's a flattened off area right there. And this mystery is why that's there.
Well, the flattened off area?
Yeah.
Well, what it shows in Spain, they had monuments set in two different places.
Monuments?
Yeah.
To who?
To them, I guess.
What kind of monuments were they?
I don't know what kind. It just says the monuments was, they had massive monuments in two different places in that area.
So it's blown off for that.
Could be. Something I know.
Foundation to set these monuments on.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I was told about 10 years ago that the bloody hands were all gone, and now I know it. I knew it then. I knew they were lying.
Yes. Yeah, they're not gone.
Have you ever known of a man named Belay?
Dewey.
Dewey?
Yeah, I heard a lot about Dewey. I've never met him personally.
He's a real nice guy.
There's their hand, the red hand.
Oh yeah, I see them.
Have you ever seen the two footprints?
Oh yeah. There's some more footprints.
There's a footprint up there.
There's some more footprints about a mile and a half away from there.
Well, do you know about these other ones that are down the canyon further?
I've been all over that place. I've got about 9 years of life in that damn hole.
You remember those? And you remember the wagon?
Oh yeah.
The wagon is faded out now. It's hard to see. It's not as sharp.
Well, I think it's fantastic. It's still there.
Yeah, really. But it used to be much more plain, much more easy to read it. But now it's fainter, and the wheels are hard to see. There's the rear wheel. It's hard to see them.
If you got any plain paper,
Yeah.
let me have a piece.
Oh, so this envelope.
Okay. When you go in there now, when you get off of the highway,
The freeway.
yeah, okay, and get off about that part, well, right across the road is some buildings, commercial buildings. You know, that's where we'd go get off. We stayed in the motel up on top there many times, the top of the deal where the tunnel is underneath. It used to be for They said prisoners, and I've heard everything. It's just a wide place in the road.
I don't know which place you mean. I don't know of any motel.
It's right on the highway.
Close to where?
Well, where I would go, we would get off there at that motel deal and walk straight across and go straight to the White Sands.
I can't picture where you mean.
Well, maybe it isn't there anymore, but there was a motel there. My wife and a lot of the wives stayed there for many times. As long as
The only place I know where anyone could stay is no longer in business, and that was the Radiant Springs Hotel.
well,
This
this
77 expedition had her camp.
might be, but all I know if I was there, I could tell I could go to the tree that opens up, and I guarantee I can get my bearings from there.
I don't know where it is.
Huh?
I don't know where you mean. That's a long way from the peak.
I know it's a long way, quite a ways, but not too far. We walked it.
35 miles.
Not what I'm talking about.
Not any motel.
Huh?
There's no motel on the highway, on the freeway.
Well, there was in.
Not where you turn off.
I come right up, bring the vehicles right up to this place, and we stopped the vehicles, and when the people going to work there, we'd mix with them. But we went another way to get right in, went across the hog farm and the whole bit.
Were you doing this before the freeway was built, I-25?
Well, it's been a long time ago. I don't know whether it's freeway or...
Because that changed everything, that freeway. Used to go up the old Highway 85, follow the river.
I think this is Highway 85, I believe it is.
That's it, okay. Well, that's different. That's all different.
Mm-hmm. So, I had my plane and fly over the next place.
I used to do that too. I used to have a Skylane. I fly out there sometimes to see what's going on.
I'm making my arches hurt. But almost everybody we talk about is dead.
Yeah, been too many years.
But it had been over 2 years ago, I talked to Coy Carroll. And when,
Still be alive.
huh?
He might still be
I
alive.
think he is. I just had a feeling that both are still alive.
Yeah, might still be.
It's hard for you to get, he was. Yeah, see, one time, he got bit by a rattlesnake.
Oops.
And he did the same thing I do. Just sat down and cool it.
Yeah.
And it goes away. And he says, I wonder how long it'll take. I said, it'll take about 5 hours.
Don't panic.
And if you panic, you'll die.
Yeah. The pictures we got from somebody over the internet. Claims that came from Victorio Peak. There's a Spanish helmet sitting on top of about 5 bars. Of course, those are different kind of bars than what you
Oh,
said.
yes.
In fact, the bars in Victoria Peak are mixed.
Sure.
They're not all the same kind of bars.
They're different shapes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, some of them are rough, some of them are long, some of them are more like a brick.
okay, the ones they did with cactus
Yeah.
was a pretty bricks.
Yeah.
Some
of them are stamped, some of them are not.
Yep. But I don't know what the stamp is, the ones we saw.
Yeah. They're mixed up.
But now, see, I had a man, he had 8 bars, and this is where I had connections in Switzerland and England both, still do. And so they wanted me to take more. I said, okay, I'm going. I'm leaving tomorrow night. If you want to go with me, well, fine. Bring the gold. We'll take it over there, and I'll get you around your taxes. And so when we started doing that airplane, he panicked. And his wife panicked.
Why? Afraid to fly.
People. And so anyway, I said, just pass the gold back here, and I'll get it through the custom. No big deal. And they come back on it. They're afraid they're going to get it taken away from them.
Oh, I lost some nerve.
And when we got over to England, I called my friend, and he come out. We took it directly to the Mint right there and then. And I think they spent all their money having fun. But now that come off of a ranch in New Mexico.
Oh, it did?
Mm-hmm.
Not from the Peak.
No. No, I went back and we went back and examined it. That was they've been sent quite a bit there. All in potholes, you know. Took the instrument out there and run it, and I think they found another 16 or 17 bars.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Some years ago, somebody sent a picture to Lethal Guthrie. That's not a very good copy of the picture, but it shows 4, 5, or 6 bars, and 2 of them are stamped with the name LaRue. And there's a pick and a shovel and some rope, and there's a rifle and a stone with the carving on the stone. You can't read it. It says,
you can read it.
Boretta, or something like that.
B-O-V-E.
Bobita.
Bobita.
Bobita, whatever that means.
No, I don't know.
But it's an anonymous person sent that to her. She doesn't know who it was. So apparently somebody went out to the Peak and the area around there and found
To what most people won't accept.
Sent that to her just to make it fun.
Mm-hmm. Old Doc Boss was a double crosser too.
Was he?
Why do you think Ryan killed him?
Well, the story I got was that they're going to fly the gold to Mexico. Ryan had contacts in Mexico, and Doc heard them talking.
Ryan had the contact through me and my family.
Oh, you knew Ryan?
Why? Hell yes.
Oh, did you? Well, the story I got was, you can correct me if I'm wrong, was that they're going to take the gold to Mexico and sell it, but they weren't going to come back and give Doc his share. And he heard them talking about it. So he went out with Tony Jolly that night, spent all night long, moving the 110 bars to different places. Came back into town and told Ryan the deal was off. That's when they had the fight. That's when they shot him. Is that the way it was or not?
Kind of. Lord.
And later on, and Tony Jolly heard the news, he left town. He lives in Idaho somewhere, and went home. But later on, he needed money, he came back, about 10 years later. And he searched out there for about 4 weekends, and didn't find anything. So he bought a different metal detector, went back again, to practice with it, so he went back again, and searched another month, there on weekends, and he found 10. And sold them through a friend who was a bookkeeper for a mine in Montana or Wyoming or something.
Well, you got to, you know, he's right there where you know, sell gold all the time.
Yeah, what they did, they merged it with the production of this mine. And they used the gold for collateral, and he went to Switzerland and got a loan of so much, where it was $75,000 or something, with the gold collateral. And he defaulted on the loan, and kept the money, and they kept the gold. And he didn't pay any taxes. That's Tony's story. And then he came back another time, he said, on another occasion with a couple other guys, and he said they found 10 more, and on the way out, these two guys made him get out of the pickup truck to open the gate. And when he was out, they took off.
Mm-hmm. I heard that too.
You heard that?
Yeah. But there are a lot of strange things happen. See, when we were pulling out stuff, the government would very candidly keep eyes on you, and you lose it. So we started going in at night.
Yeah.
And that's when I pasted their damn old balloon going up, you know.
Yeah, it's going at night too.
That's the only time to go in.
Yeah.
Walt Jolly.
Tony Jolly.
Tony Jolly, yeah.
I went in one night on a Friday, about 9, 10 o'clock. And just before I got to the pass, I see two guys walking down the road toward me. I thought they were guards. I forward stopped. But they were stuck out there. They come out there on a Tuesday and tried to drive their two-wheel drive pickup around the bank and up over past the gate, you know, and couldn't climb the bank. And they slid back down that slope, and the more they tried to dig out and move, the closer to the edge they got. So they sat there for 3 days. They finally gave up on walking on when I picked them up. So we went back up there, and they hooked the chains of my Jeep, my Scout, and I pulled them out. And it turned out that those were the two sons of Jack, what's his name? The guy that built the road for Owen way back in 49. Those are his two sons. Forget his name. He came out there during the expedition.
I'm trying to think. He's about your size.
Yeah, he's not big. Can't think of his name. But anyway, that was his two boys I rescued. They've been out there all that time and hadn't been seen, hadn't been detected.
Well, I think a lot of people have went right on by anyway.
What do you mean?
Well, you know people. I mean, I've had people when I was in stress, you know, places that...
Well, I wouldn't go by and leave them there.
I wouldn't either, but a lot of people will.
I think so, but heck no.
Well, the first thing they do, they think it's a setup.
No. No. I saw their pickup truck. I knew they were telling the truth.
Well, I've
It's a
got...
bad place. This was all loose shale there. So they just spin their wheels, you know, and slide sideways.
Well, where I live, I don't know how long I've lived there because of my dog's ages. And
Yeah.
so one night, I've got a walkway. It's all gone now, but you know, this is 99 too. But anyway, these three guys, little guys, that's back when this Jewish man, myself, the three of us walk our dog. So one night, these three boys caught me walking by myself.
Uh-oh.
And I was on this bridge that you go from one side of the water to the other. So here comes a bicycle this way, and here comes a bicycle this way, and the other one parked over there on the end. So when they got almost to me, I just flat kicked one of them, and he went over and fell on the rocks. I thought he was dead. I got the other one, and I had him just about one more yank, and he'd been dead. And I had him to point. I told him, buddy, come on over here, drop the gun, or you're dead. So then I was carrying a badge. They got citations. And 6 years after that, one time, I drive the car. The three fellas, very well dressed up, and they come in there and wanted to thank me for doing what I did.
Yeah, really? No kidding.
That length of time, yes.
In 6 years.
Mm-hmm. Because they all spent a little penitentiary time.
Repented and reformed.
Exactly.
And were appreciative.
And got good jobs.
Of your turning their life around. Well, that's great. Unusual.
So I used to have 2 Chinese women that was assigned to me, and they were kickboxers. And I've watched them women kill. God. Almost instantly.
Just that easy.
That easy.
You know where to hit them.
My wife was with me one time, and they watched her all the way. They didn't. I didn't see them. They were sitting in 2 different places, and I was carrying gold in the Zurich, and got off. So here the tug on my shoulder. Who's the woman you're riding? Well, I said, my wife. Get the hell out of here. So, okay. We're back to where they filmed. But I had, you see, the world is kind of different. England, I had all the rights in the world to do gold. In Switzerland, I did too. And reason I got Class A in Switzerland, there was a banker there that I'd prayed about and wondered about for years, because he was a guy that when we declared the war was over, some people kept on killing. Well, I used my 45 and stopped our own people from killing 3 men. And those 3 men have been friends of mine all my life. All 3 of them were Germans. And 2 of them was bankers. I've had 2 red carpet treatments in my life, and both of them was in Hamburg.
Why were they trying to kill them?
Huh?
They figured they'd collaborated with the Nazis during the war?
Yeah.
So
No, you mean all men? They just wanted to kill.
really?
Yes.
They didn't want to stop.
That's right. We had these people in custody.
Even though the war was over.
War was over for all by 14 days.
They still had such hot blood they wanted to go.
They did. They killed several people. A friend of mine, I've got one. He left me all his stuff. I've still got it. I treasure it. He was in the compound. And I had to go on an errand with a Jeep, and when I got back, he was dead.
Really?
Yeah. Our own people.
That's terrible.
Did you see the show? They showed all of a 6-hour show, and I forget who it was done by. And I know I flew from Zurich to Hamburg to watch that expose that night, because that was where they buried people by the rows.
Yeah.
And they exposed it there at the hotel where it was, and that was all on film. And you know, the teachers went out, some of them killed themselves right after that.
They did.
Walked right out and cut their throats.
Golly. Huh. Why did they do that?
Their schoolhouse had been built over all these graves.
They couldn't live with that and kill themselves?
They killed themselves.
Golly.
A fellow that come across one time, and at that time I was staying in Zurich, Switzerland, and he called and looked me up, and that was what this was all about. They was getting ready to do that film, and they showed it right here in the United States. It's 6 hours long. I saw the darn thing. But he's dead. If he wasn't dead, I could get all these names. Because he was a guy that had names of people all over the country. That was his job.
You've seen a lot of things, haven't you?
Yeah, I traveled for 40 years.
You've seen and done a lot.
But I'd do it again if I was a young man and had the opportunity. The funny thing about it, opportunities come by and sometimes you don't even know it.
Well, just call the thing down to 60. That's right.
Well, you've got a good view out here.
It is pretty good. It's pretty nice.
Well, you can go to Madrid and find out an awful lot of things, or you could. I haven't been there in 15 years.
Well, I've been wishing we would do that. Try to find some of these documents that verify the existence of the thing.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Because neither one of us might be here and gone tomorrow. But there is one thing in those documents over there. You know where the bloody heads are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
Is this it?
yeah. Mm-hmm. Right here, I guess. Yeah,
That's
right. Yeah.
This is the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, but yeah, there's some bloody hands right here.
Yeah. This is Geronimo, this is Victoria.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. When we used to go in, there was a giant bunch of rock, kind of flat rock, and they had some holes drilled in them, not that deep.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 holes.
3 holes.
And just out in the wash in front of the place.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you know?
Downstream a little bit.
Now, do you know what those are for?
Well, it looks like 2 of the holes line up with the pictograph of the lion's heads.
Has nothing to do with it.
Doesn't okay.
Nothing.
I'm wrong.
That's where they would set timber. And 6 or 7, they'd have 6, 7, or 10, or 15 horses or mules and unscrew that rock.
Oh, that's to turn the rock.
That's right.
That's just over the hole of the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll sat on that rock before.
So have I, many times, and I like to flip what it was in Madrid, Spain, looking at it.
It's on the document.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 3 holes, kind of like a triangle.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Yeah. That's the twist of the rock.
And they put wood in each one of them, and they tied that up here, and they'll start twisting. And I think, I'm not sure, but I've thought all this time, and I think it is. Because the other things I've seen and heard in there. But that, I lost about, it's on my belly, and I weighed about 225 pounds then. And I squeezed into a place like a fool with my hands out here. And then
You couldn't back up.
when that snake started staring me down without any eyes, Mr. I started to shed enough water, and it seemed like I was there a day, but it took me almost 40 minutes when I looked at my watch, and I had enough water that I backed myself back out of that mire. I'll never forget that.
You know, that snake face to face.
Huh?
Met him face to face.
I mean, he was right there looking at me, and he didn't have any eyes.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid to move my hands because I didn't know that he couldn't see.
Yeah. Right.
So
Where was that?
second tier of the peak.
Oh, in the peak.
Yeah. Maybe the third, the one down past the water.
The snake was beyond the water.
Well, he was not beyond the water. He was on ground.
Yeah, but you had to go past the water.
Yeah.
That's very deep into a cave.
I know.
To be that far down.
I know.
He never comes out. What's he find to eat on down
You know, I don't know. I thought it was me. But the one place I'd love to see again. But that's where the place opens. That's where they say all this stuff was that you could never get to. And that's the stuff that I saw being removed on the...
But they didn't do it from the top.
No.
Where'd they do it from?
underneath.
But where was the exit?
Huh?
Where were they going in and out?
It looked like it was, you could see Victorio Peak in one or two shots. It looked like it was on the level that the second level of water is.
Well, where would that be?
Down deep.
On the surface.
Huh?
On the surface, where would that be?
It would be about where I was talking about, where the holes are.
Oh. Oh. Well, you're saying the Architect would go out from a tunnel entrance somewhere near Bloody Hand,
Mm-hmm.
and not on the peak itself.
That's right.
Or not close to the peak itself. But somewhere down in there.
Somewhere down in there, yes.
You don't know just where.
No, I don't, because I was only going to pictures.
Yeah. Huh. Was it in the wash itself or outside?
No, it was below.
It can't be below the wash, that's the lowest point.
No, it didn't. Ha ha ha.
There's no ground in there lower down in the creek bed.
Well, I'll tell you what you do. You take a drill and drill down there about 30 feet, and you're going to find out there is.
Well, you're missing what I'm saying. The entrance that they went in and out of, the hole they went in and out of, it wasn't down in the creek bed.
Oh, no, I'm talking about.
It's up higher than the creek bed.
Oh, yes.
Okay. It couldn't be, the entrance couldn't be any lower than the creek bed.
That's what everybody told me, and I went under the creek bed in dry land.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe the tunnel runs underneath the tree, but the entrance is not.
The entrance is
somewhere up higher.
Okay, when you're at the Bloody Hands, you go up a hill, and there used to be a monument setting up there. Is it still there?
I don't know what any monument.
Well, it's not. Well, wouldn't be over 4 from here to the ground, or maybe a little further.
Ooh, it's a long way. That's a long way.
There's only we found that before the Bloody Hands was found.
This monument is across the wash from Bloody Hands.
So you know where the airplane was.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
That's still in the basin.
That's right. Just go right around and then you go up a little hill like. They wasn't having.
When you go into, when you leave Bloody Hands and go back towards Victorio Peak, and you get back into the basin, you're in one place where it's so narrow you can almost touch the walls on both sides. You're in the wash.
Yeah.
Drive through the wash. Real close.
Yeah.
And then after you get out of that, it opens up good, and that's where this monument is?
Yeah, was in there.
Back in there.
Yes.
On the left side?
On the left side as you're walking up.
Towards Geronimo Peak in that direction?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever seen it. But somewhere
And there was
there,
an old wagon in that area. Decayed, you know, it's all, you can just see the parts.
yeah. Never seen that either.
Well, they might have cleaned that up then, you know.
Have you ever heard about the stagecoach supposed to be?
Yeah, sure.
You ever know where it was?
It was in one of them areas that I cannot tell you where because I can't remember exactly where it is. There was one place where they had moved a stagecoach or part of a stagecoach. You couldn't tell where, but it was not too far from where I found all the rifles. Same level.
Yeah. This guy was telling me about, Richard Cole is his name, from Alamogordo. The one that saw the skeleton on the peak and
yeah.
one saw the UFO on the peak,
Yeah.
Richard Cole.
Yeah.
He was a friend of Harvey Snow. Do you ever know Harvey Snow?
Yeah, sure did.
Richard says he's seen a stagecoach.
There is part of a stagecoach in there, but I haven't got it.
He said it's intact.
Well, I haven't seen it.
It's not in the basin. It's further down the canyon past the Bloody Hands, going east.
Going east, okay.
It's further, but it's not in that canyon. It's in a branch canyon somewhere.
Well, where's the one that the government come in and completely leveled out? That you used to go down and we hauled out all the heads
I don't know.
They made flower beds out of flower basket.
I don't know. I don't know any place the Army is leveled off.
Well, this one was. I mean, it isn't in there. It's away from there quite a ways.
Yeah. I don't know if it's.
See, who could I contact on that? See, all the names I've got, they're all dead.
Yeah. Have you been down Hillbilly Canyon to the east far enough to see where the big, broad, beautiful vein of rose quartz
Is
comes down the bank?
not once, a dozen times.
Crosses over the other side. Isn't that a pretty place?
Beautiful. There is so many things. It gripes me because you lose your memory. I mean, it really gripes me because when I was in Spain, I knew exactly what I was after, went and got it. Okay, if I'd go there now, I probably couldn't even find the building.
Yeah.
And I bet he had probably the most fun in the world there, you know, when we was over there, because I knew a lot of people in the area, and their customs are so different.
Yeah, sure.
And then we got into a lot of things.
That quartz vein's long in about in here.
Right there.
Right in there. Mm-hmm. But it's changed now because they rerouted the road.
Okay, well.
The road, you used to go right down the wash.
Okay, yeah.
You can see that. You drove across that vein. Now that I rerouted the road out of the wash over here on this side, so nobody ever sees it anymore.
Probably not.
If you didn't know it was there, you wouldn't never see it. Because the road's up here. And these old mines up here, the Sierra Talc mines, they're abandoned now. One of them, the lower shaft tunnel here still has tracks in it, rails, still has the little tram cars still there.
Jamie Pearson.
No, he's a friend of yours.
But he was never in there. He was too big of a coward.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Love him dearly. But
I took a friend out there once who was afraid to go in the tunnel, in their cave. He sat outside when we went in.
well, this guy, we was at another location. And that's where I got, the FBI come in and arrested me that night at the motel. And didn't work. They demanded that these red rattlesnakes that supposed to have been brought over by so-and-so, I don't know, Jesse James. They were red. I mean, brilliant red.
Really?
Yeah.
A red rattlesnake?
Yeah.
Were they imported from some foreign country?
I don't have any idea. But anyway, that night in the hotel, I had nothing but misery with the FBI and the University of New Mexico.
Why do they want red rattlesnakes?
Well, because evidently they were a rare species.
Yeah.
And so, anyway.
Why did they think you could help them get them?
Huh?
Why did they think you could help them get them?
Well, because I was out there and I was there where the rattlesnakes were.
You ever see a red rattlesnake?
I saw every one of them.
We did.
And
I was looking you in the face was a red rattlesnake.
No, that's a different area altogether. This is over in another area altogether. But when I told the professors at both colleges, from what I've been told and what I've seen by people, when one of these bites you, you're dead in 3 minutes. And they wouldn't believe it. So the FBI come in and arrested me right in a motel again. And I said, I'm not going to bring them in.
No.
I'll take you to them. I'm not bringing them in.
We'll go catch them for them, no.
So I was going back out that way. The whole crew was going back up that way. And took them out there and showed them where they were. And they took, I think 26, 27 rattlesnakes.
They did.
And the guy with the University of New Mexico, well, I says, there's nothing. You have been bred by rattlesnakes before, and you just sit down and don't bother you. So chick. 3 minutes later, dead as hell.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and so they started understanding. And even one of the FBI men come back and apologized.
Where was the place where you found them?
It was close to the border, and it's supposed to be Jesse James junk.
Close to the border, you mean with Old Mexico?
Old Mexico, yeah.
El Paso area?
No, it was on further down.
Well,
Or up. I'm doing that. We went up high, quite high on the mountain. And there's all kind of evidence where they crossed the border.
downriver from El Paso?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know who that would be.
But these red rattlesnakes were genuine, and I don't know what happened to them because I was glad to get out of there.
Yeah. They were bad news, whatever they were.
Yeah. Why would they have FBI? You know, they come in.
Why would they be interested in them?
I think what they were trying to do is to stop a lawsuit that I told you a while ago because the Vikings, the school book says one thing, and the Viking gear was found 440 miles away from where they were supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, the Vikings came farther west than people think.
Yeah, 400 miles, I believe.
Most scholars agree that Vikings came to Nova Scotia and the East Coast, but they don't think they went any further.
Well, see, that's what the book, that's what I got sued about.
Yeah.
The school board. I took them up.
Yeah. A friend of mine, a friend of ours up there at Hatch, runs a local newspaper. He's been writing articles.
At Hatch?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Who's there?
Gene Ballinger.
Oh, I remember him.
Into the paper. He's run lots of articles showing places in New Mexico where they've got Orem script written on the rocks left by Vikings.
Yeah.
He runs articles about that all the time.
Well, that's good because I tell you, it makes you curious when you walk in and explain to people you're wrong in your books.
Yeah. And then they try to shut you up.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
No, that was the weirdest sight I've ever seen. Those people still in Viking gear.
Yeah. I'd like to see that.
Boy, I'm telling you. That's the part they blew up.
A man told me that the Army has found this tunnel with the Model T in it that runs to the peak. They didn't see the Model T, they intercepted the tunnel somewhere further along. And that they filled it up with concrete to block it off, anybody going in it.
Why would they do that?
Because it goes towards Victorio Peak. You haven't heard that story yet?
No, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah. I just found that out about 4 or 5 months ago.
God.
But he claims there's another entrance somewhere. It's still possible to get into it and go to the peak underground. But the other entrance is on the base. It's on the military reservation inside the boundary line. This one that they found and was covered over and cemented in is off the reservation.
Well, I don't know, but I'd like for some people go in. I watch so many people go in and just tear things up. But even like the old, it was one of the cowshed, the one that we're talking about that the tins all over.
Yeah. The goat.
That's goat shed. And I can't imagine that. Well, I can.
Well, the Henderson Ranch, you know, the Air National Guard or somebody used to come in there and strike that building.
Yeah, I know.
With tracers and try to set fire to it.
Yeah.
Burned it to the ground. And further up to the north from there, the old Wolf Ranch headquarters, which used to be a real pretty house, all stucco.
Yeah, I remember it well.
4 or 5 fireplaces in each bedroom, you know. It's all shot full of holes.
Shaking Air Corps.
No soldiers.
Soldiers.
Yeah. Well, just going in there and just shooting up the place.
I think, well, I don't understand why, but I don't understand service anymore anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. They're very destructive, and they're very critical, not the word. They're very contemptuous, is a better word, of civilians. People in the military think they're superior to civilians. They've got contempt for civilians.
Well, there are people that slaughtered all of these horses out here. They got contempt.
The Mustangs, wild Mustangs, yeah.
They weren't wild.
Well, they didn't belong to anybody.
Well, according to 3 old timers here, that they sure do, and they're getting paid. They're going to get paid.
Oh, are they? Really? Good for them if they do. But these people in the White Sands area were told to evacuate their places, their homes, because the government's going to have this base. They were supposed to be paid too.
No, they weren't.
So they never get paid.
I was supposed to be paid too. I never get it. I never got a dime. My brother's supposed to get paid too.
Yeah.
Never got a dime.
That's right. About 1990 or 91, one of those ranchers moved back into his house because he hadn't been paid. And he was in there a couple of weeks before they forced him to leave again. And this time they promised him they would pay him this time. But I
Well, can you keep track of it and find out?
I can probably find out who it was, yeah.
Boy, I'd like to find out.
It was in the papers back in 1991 or 2 when we were out there with the expedition. It happened during that time.
But see, it was, I believe, after looking all through the Spanish stuff,
How did you find that? Was it under some kind of a title?
it was under the archives.
Yeah, but what was it labeled under? How was it filed away? How did you find it?
It was on display.
On what?
They have it displayed, all that stuff. You go in and look.
Yeah, but there's tons of documents there.
I know there is,
You
but
find the right ones that you wanted.
it was when we walked in the big building,
Yeah.
we started going through there. It's just like this mirror, right there. We took it down and looked at it.
Is that right?
Yes.
Out in the open.
Yes,
You didn't have to dig.
didn't dig nothing.
That's too
You
easy.
can't go in and dig stuff in a place like that.
Let me dig through their files.
They won't let you dig through the
Oh,
files.
they won't.
Oh.
So it was already out there.
I think it was out there because of my group had already requested it, and it was just like that mirror there when we walked in, only a lot bigger.
Well, that was nice of them to put it out there on display for you. Did it have a name?
Yes, it did.
What was it?
Hey. I think Forgotten Armada.
Forgotten Armada. Why would they give it a title like
I don't know. None of us could figure the title out. But it was there. I mean, it would get Victorio Peak and all that stuff is.
But they didn't call it Victorio.
Oh no.
What did they call it?
There's a church over there somewhere on the border. They got the same name.
There's a string of 6 or 7 missions along the river below El Paso.
Maybe it is a mission.
Is it one of those names?
Could be. But see, when they had that out there, they had, I think 12 teams. And they had all this gear on, and they're going around, they're unscrewing something out of the ground. I've got to see it before I can believe it. And I believe it because they used to cook beans there in the holes.
Yeah. Yeah, the archaeologists said they call those Matati holes.
Matati?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another place, I found some stuff about Victorio Peak, was in Israel.
Israel. It's an unlikely place to find something about that.
No, it isn't.
Why?
Because they had people over here following a bunch of this stuff, and there's come over as priest.
Jewish priest?
I say they came over here as a priest.
Pretending.
Sure.
Wonder how they would have heard about it or known of it in the first place.
Well, how do you know? Because I don't know. Well, over there in Texas, there's a lot of things that still got me better puzzled. Are the things that's been found there. Different places. I had some people call me just the other day, and they found some gold, and it's right in the back steps, the back door of a motel.
What's that?
It's a little town on the railroad track.
Oh, small place.
And I know a nurse that used to live there. But I can't remember the town. The train goes through it, and it's just some on this side and some on that side. And someone has buried some gold there. It hasn't been buried. So they got there.
Yeah. It's not Spanish gold. Oh, it is Spanish.
Spanish gold.
Well, they were lucky.
And there's a pastor called me, and someone had donated him a bar of gold. And I said, well, send me a sample, and I'll run it to the lab. Never heard. Come find out, that somebody had donated somebody something that wasn't genuine. With not a bit of gold in it.
Scam. Yeah.
Well, why would you go and donate to church? Now, there's just been a month or so ago. And this guy called me and he said, can you tell me how to check it? And I said, sure, I'll tell you how to check it, for God's sakes.
Sure.
And so I said, best thing, send it up here and I'll take it to the lab I used to own. And I'll tell you just a little bit. And so, well, when they started to take a test hole, this gold, it didn't jive up, just on the surface only. And I said, how could you be fooled like that? He said, I don't know nothing about gold. He said it's gold, and it looks gold. And
Gold paint?
yeah. There was something, I never did see it, they never sent it out. But we had a lab here, 3 of us. And all of a sudden, 2 wound up dead.
Mystery?
Mystery to me. And the other one called me one Sunday morning and he says, I'm hurting bad. My legs are all swelled and all this. I called his daughter and time she got over there and did, and the FBI people was there and arrested her.
So it poisoned it?
Evidently. I've got several things, little shack I live in that he give us that is just like a brother.
Who do you think did it?
Oh, it's been proven the FBI did it.
FBI.
FBI. Federal Bureau of Investigation.
They're supposed to protect us.
They did, they killed him. That's over here in Idaho, you know, and
We're not supposed to do that.
well, his dad and his dad's brother are the ones that started Wells Fargo. They were horse riders. And that's the famous Wells Fargo, they're the 2 people that did it. They come in here from Germany. And they had quite a chunk of money at one time. Turned out to be the Wells Fargo Bank and all that.
Yeah.
I've been arrested at Wells Fargo Bank 3 times.
One of the things Doc Noss claimed was there was a Wells Fargo strongbox in the cave.
Could be, because we dug up 2.
You dug up 2? Where?
In that area.
You did?
Nothing in them.
Is that right?
Not a thing.
But those weren't in Doc's tunnels.
Well, they were, Doc didn't have any tunnels. They was in that tunnel, Spanish tunnel.
There was? Where they were found?
Yeah.
That place where the wagon and
All that stuff is, and what the stuff that the man that won election, he didn't get one vote in his own precinct.
yeah.
Liver Baines,
Yeah.
cheating brother.
Yeah. The people around in Texas didn't like him.
Well, his own mother and dad didn't like him.
Yeah. People in Arkansas don't like Clinton either.
Well, that's the last problem I had with the government. See, I took pictures of him with a Russian army, wearing a Russian uniform in Russia. And I got into all kind of trouble again with your government.
A picture of who wearing a Russian
Clinton, back when he
Clinton wearing a Russian
was
uniform?
certainly
While he's in school, a student supposed to
beat
be?
my ass. You got a lot of knowledge over there, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I had 2 grandsons working in that outfit, passing chicken, and I forget what the other was. And when I come back, got back over here, about 8 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago, I made both of them quit their jobs.
Because of who they were working for.
That's right.
Yeah. Tyson was a big supporter of Clinton.
Oh yeah, he was one who went to penitentiary too, wasn't he?
Yeah. Oh, a barrel of snakes.
I know it, and as I say, my 2 uncles ruined me politically.
McClellan and Wilbur Mills.
I wouldn't pork barrel, and I won't pork barrel today. I'm not going to pork barrel tomorrow either. I don't care who they are.
Yeah.
My wife used to get mad at me. The FBI man come in one time, we was up in Missouri, and she come out of the bathroom. Well, sit down. I said, I told him not to sit down. Well, I don't sit with traitors. And he come in. I went out to the car, made him come with me. And I made a total ass of him right there in front of about 25 people. He come out to arrest me for something when I was in England.
You're not even in the country.
Well, certainly not.
Golly.
Well, that's the scams I've lived through. And I'm telling you that. I found very few honest people in the world.
Isn't that sad?
Mm-hmm. I've got some people in Ireland, I believe they'd kill for me today. I've got some people in England, I know they would.
No American.
And everybody's afraid of the shadow here.
Yeah. We're supposed to be the free country.
Well, what is it now? Next year they're supposed to take the border down?
Oh, they're going to take the border down.
Yeah.
Open the floodgates. Huh?
They told on the television what it would be, not television, on radio, what it would be. I listened to radio and it sure in the US of A. Then I'm going to check this out. The main thing I want to check out is Monday is the first time the woman will be in. They can give me the name of the man that died. I can't remember it. I knew him well.
The Jewish man.
Yeah. See, I knew him, and he, I know some of his parents in Israel, but you don't ever want to get mixed up that way.
It would be sure help them find out who put that TV documentary together and get a copy of it.
That's what I thought. Okay, that's what is needed.
Yeah.
Well, now, do you remember when right in